all week since last Wednesday to talk to y'all again. So we're going to wait just a second to give people time to kind of tune in. This is Texture Talk Live with the Hair Whisperer Tendai, going down every week right here at Natural Hair Mag on Facebook. Exciting times, guys, and I'm just honored to be here once again. We got one viewer, we got two viewers. I love how this thing just jumps up from 0 to 100 real quick. We're going to talk about texture. So many things we talked about last week. It's just been an amazing week. I got to tell y'all about everything that's been going on, some of the things that have taken place, and we're also going to be discussing some amazing topics this week like we did last week. Last week we discussed what our texture category is, categories 1, 2, 3, 4, and the subcategories of A, B, and C, and understanding all that stuff. And it was a great conversation. This time I have my real glasses because y'all know I had some technical difficulties with trying to read the questions you guys had. I'm not going there this week. We're going to have some real glasses today. And I also have some giveaways for you guys. We're going to talk about how you guys can win some fabulous things from Healthy Hair Solutions and Natural Hair Mag from the Hair Whisperer Tendai. Let me introduce myself. I know this is it's a brand new show that we're doing here on Natural Hair Mag. So a lot of you guys were here last week. The ones that were here last week, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Y'all make some noise, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. The new people, the newbies, welcome. This is Texture Talk with the Hair Whisperer Tendai. Just to give you just a quick background about me, I am a licensed cosmetologist and barber. I've been behind the chair for about 34 years. And I decided to focus on natural hair many years ago, before it was popular. And the reason why is for health reasons. I wanted my clients to have a healthy experience. I wanted them to have healthy hair. And so now my focus is traveling all over the country and all over the world to educate women on how to care for their coils, their natural hair. Today I'm rocking the same twist out I had last week. It's not really a twist out, it's really just twisties. You see my curls, guys? They're 2-strand twists. So I get a lot of questions about what I have going on here. So basically, my hair was in a big afro, and I took little bitty sections of my hair. I mean, literally little micro spaces, and I 2-strand twisted my hair all over with the intentions of locking it up one day. So I don't know if it's gonna lock or not, but I'm gonna let it grow out like this. I started with a big chop. My hair was about that long, and now I'm letting it grow out as long as it'll go. And I mean, it was really getting big, but I wanted to try to, work with my texture and see what it does. So I'm loving it so far. It's been up for about a month, and so far no problems. I did wash my hair. I co-washed it in between, but I washed my hair with actual the Argan Deluxe shampoo that I have, and we'll talk about that later. And went back in, used the oil. Thank you so much. You guys talking about my glasses again? Let me. That was a pose, I got these glasses from Sharice's Pieces, but I'll talk to you guys about that later. But I went in with the oil right behind that, and then my curl defining cream just to kind of rub through it and keep the curls moisturized and hydrated. Which brings us to our topic for today. Really quickly, I want to recognize some icons in my lifetime that I've actually kind of grown up looking at in different ways. And, we all actually lost a couple of people this past week. One is Dick Gregory. So we want to definitely say rest in peace to Dick Gregory. And also to Jerry Lewis, who both actually are comedians. I thought that was pretty interesting. They're both comedians. They both passed away in their 90s. So it has something to say about laughter and actually understanding that laughter is medicine. And it's really good to laugh when you can, as much as you can. Sidebar, I thought Jerry Lewis was dead already, but that's just, I know I'm not the only one, so don't beat me up about that one. But I did. I thought he was dead. But anyway, so yeah, rest in peace to Jerry Lewis. For real this time. And also to Dick Gregory. I also want to let you guys know that you can meet me, catch up with me on Facebook under Tendai Robin Morris. It's Tendai Robin Morris. Please friend me on Facebook. Also check me out on Instagram under the Hair Whisperer _. See, y'all thought I thought he was dead too. and on YouTube under the Hair Whisperer Tendai. Check me out there. Be sure to connect with me. Follow me on Instagram, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Hair Whisperer Tendai. All right, and all of my products are available on Amazon, and you can get them at www.healthyhair.solution. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Meanwhile, let's get into this whole texture talking thing. Last weekend, I was at Bronner Brothers. I had a booth for the very first time, so I was actually vending there. I had my whole setup. I've gone to Bronner Brothers before in Atlanta, Georgia, and just attended before. But this time, I actually had my products there. I was set up. I was official. I had my people working. I was doing my thing, and it was, hey, that is for. I'm a big girl now. Pop my collar, right? I'm a big girl now because I actually got in there. My husband and I, shout out to my husband, Ken Morris. We got in there and we did the dang on thing. Thank you. You guys are loving my updo? See that? I'll show you guys how I got it. But this weekend, so that was great. Bronner Brothers was amazing. There were so many people there. I mean, literally, I can't even tell you, 20,000 or more people there at Bronner Brothers. And so that was a huge weekend. I'm actually looking forward to this weekend coming up. I'll be in Washington, D.C. I'll be in D.C. at the Ubiquitous Expo. Where are you guys at? Are you guys, any of you guys in D.C.? Hey, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me know where you guys are. Meanwhile, I'm going to get me a drink of water. Our sinuses have been acting real crazy here in St. Louis. I got my red cup. Don't judge me. Just that real, guys. Yeah, where you guys? And you guys, Philly. All right, so listen, guys, I'm going to be in the DMV area. We got Dallas in the house. What's going on? We got Kansas City. Who else? North Carolina. Thank you so much. She said she's loving my hair. Houston. Hey, Houston. We got some of everybody. Who else is in the house? Hartford, Connecticut. Oh, my gosh. What's going on? Louisiana in the house. Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, I'm loving it. Thank you guys so much for joining me here once again on Texture Talk with the Hair Whisperer. And today, we are going to be, Detroit's in the house. Detroit, I was in Detroit too. Omaha, that's what's up. St. Louis. All right. So today we're going to be discussing hydration versus moisture. We talked about last week the 4 major texture categories that there are. And the subcategories, how to identify your texture category. And just to recap, there are 4 major categories that have been identified: category 1, 2, 3, and 4, with subcategories of A, B, and C. All right, we talked about that last week. And if you guys have questions about that, after I'm done with my whole spiel about moisture today, then we can discuss it if you have any questions. And any questions that you guys have, we'll recap. There were a few questions last week after I went through and read the comments from everybody. And let me say this, guys, 23,000 viewers in 24 hours. Man, let me give y'all a high five. Y'all rock. I'm telling you, this was amazing. Please share that we're here talking live today about texture. Share that on your page right now. Click your share button. I really appreciate that because texture is something that we all need to understand. We all need to understand it, with those that texture categories 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we talked about that. There's a difference that where moisture is needed and how things balance out. Keep in mind with natural hair, everything is about moisture. One of the frustrations that we have by not understanding what your texture is and understanding what your texture needs is that you don't know where your starting point is. Sometimes, let's just say this. You've been with your hair your whole life, pretty much, unless your hair just decided to, leave. But if it's still there, you've literally been with your hair your whole life. So you have to understand what your needs are and based on your starting point, where you are, okay? So that texture category helps you to identify, first of all, what your DNA produces. Really quick recap, 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's the number actually describes the pattern of your hair strand. Whether it's an S pattern, a Z pattern, or it's straight or slightly wavy. Okay, 1 straight, no wave pattern whatsoever. 2 slightly wavy. 3 S patterns, big S's on down to smaller S's like mine. And they have S's that are even smaller than these. And then Z patterns, which are really, really, really tight. And the way you can determine that is by your hair being moisturized. You have to hydrate your hair before you can tell what it is. So it's not fair to say I'm a 4C when you don't, you're not, your hair is just dry. It's just sitting there dehydrated like a dead flower, like this. So, you can't do it that way. And then the subcategories of A, B, and C describes how thick one strand of hair is. One strand of hair. If you look at it and it's really, really, really fine, like a spider web compared to somebody else's, then that's an A. A little bit bigger is B. A little bit bigger than that is C. Okay, it talks about how thick that strand is. All right, so with that in mind, our starting points in hydration versus moisture. On one side of the spectrum, you have the straighter hair, right? Straighter hair. On the other side of the spectrum, you have the Z pattern, which is the tightest coil. Okay, when you stretch it out like this, Z's, okay? There's an effect. There's one component that we all have that has a different effect on our strands based on what we have. All right, so now let's go a little bit further. All right, in your scalp, each hair strand grows out of a hole in your scalp called a follicle. This hole in your scalp is called a follicle. That follicle actually has a pocket under it, and it houses, and I'll draw it. You guys know that I like to draw sometimes, so I'm going to draw it for you. So this is your scalp, and this is, let's say this is a follicle. This is scalp follicle. Under here, there's a little bulb under your scalp, and this is where a strand of hair shoots out of, right? Makes sense? It grows. That's your hair. Make sense? Okay, moving on, guys. So that's a hair follicle. That's a hair follicle. You have these little bulbs under here with hair that grows out of it. They're either going to grow out and grow curly, or they're going to grow out straight or slightly wavy, depending on what your DNA is. Make sense? It'll grow out slightly wavy, or it may grow out in a Z pattern. Make sense? All right. Now, in everybody's hair follicle, now this is not on one head. This is somebody's head, that's somebody's head, that's somebody's head. So this will be 4, this will be 2, this will be 3, and this will be category 1. I did them backwards, mixed them up. But I'm confusing y'all because I know y'all got this. All right? Under the hair follicle, there's something that's different. Now, we can say that all of the hair strands are different. People have different hair strands based on your DNA. Okay, we can agree with that. But underneath there are things that are the same. These hair follicles are all connected to your bloodstream. So we're going to say this is your bloodstream down here, right? All connected to your bloodstream. All right. Inside of the hair follicle, there is a sac of oil. Every single person has a sac of oil. There's also a sac of protein, which is called keratin. All right? So all the same inside, okay? Oil, which is called sebum, and protein, which is called keratin. So we'll put a K here. And I didn't know I could write backwards like that. Get it, T. Well, it would be the other way. So that's protein and that's keratin on this side. Well, actually, it's the other way around. This is sebum. Sebum and keratin. Sorry, guys. All right, so the sac of sebum, which is oil, we see that's on everybody. All right, we can all agree the oil, the consistency is just kind of runny. You know, that's why my nose is shining right now, because I don't have any pressed powder to put on it. And we just naturally produce oils. That's what we do, right? But the oil acts differently on a person's texture. On straighter hair, gravity plays a role in all of this, right? So if your hair grows out of your head and it's straight, and you're in category 1, that oil is going to come up to the surface, feeding this hair strand and actually lubricating it. The keratin actually feeds it. That's what makes a strand of hair anyway. It does the same thing on all of them. But that oil slides up. And if your hair is straight and it's hanging down, it's going to literally slide down that strand of hair because of gravity. Gravity. Make a song about it. Gravity. Let me write that down. I can't see how y'all can read this. It's backwards, but that says gravity. Gravity. All right? Gravity pulls that oil straight down that strand of hair. And that's natural. That's category 1's natural, okay, scenario. Category 2 is a slightly wavy. The oil comes up, and it may slide down depending on how loose that S pattern is. Slightly wavy here. Category 2 is actually this one. Category 3 is these S patterns we were talking about. And that comes down, then we got some loops going on here. As gravity starts to work with this, you notice that the curlier the hair gets, it starts to stand up more off of our heads. The Z pattern down here, forget about it. The oil is coming up, and it ain't sliding down nothing. Okay, it's right there. You know, it comes up and it just stops. That's what it does. And that's just a natural quality that each strand has. Understanding that there are needs that we have, all right? Shampoo and conditioner were designed for a specific reason. Let me see you guys type "my natural is my natural," and we're going to go further. We do this every show. So for the people that are new, when we say "my natural is my natural," what that means is that your category and your DNA produces what it produces, and you have your own set of needs, and we have to learn what those needs are based on where you fit. So let me see you guys type that "my natural is my natural." Let me get a sip of water and hydrate myself with it. Remember that. There you go. Cha Edgerton. Akeisha Jones. LaKeisha Simmons, Egypt. Jamise Riggins. Hey, Denora Andrada. MN is MN. Ha! My natural is my natural. She's like, I'm not typing all that out. Girl, you better be there. My natural is my natural. I love it. So guys, that is so important to understand, right? It's so important to understand. So the sebum acts differently on different strands of hair based on how it's shaped and whether your hair stands up or lays down. Okay. Shampoo and conditioner. Let's talk about shampoo. Shampoo is basically an agent used to strip oils. It's a detergent. Okay. Many people get so bent out of shape. I can't use shampoo and no, listen. Then we get all these fears going, but we don't understand why we're afraid. But we keep on being afraid, and then we just say, you know, we can't do this, and it has sulfates in that, and that's going to do X, Y, Z to us. Well, yeah, there's some things that are going to cause problems, you know, for your hair if you don't know what you're doing. And also there are things that are kind of toxic for you if you use it too much. Okay, so let's talk about this. Dish detergent, things that have sulfate. Dish detergent has sulfate. Anything that makes bubbles. Sulfate creates a bubble. Creates bubbles. You know, you take the bubbles, dip it. You know, for the kids, you dip it, and the bubbles come out, and they get all happy. That agent in there is causing the bubbles is sulfate. Okay, dishwashing liquid, sulfate. Soaps has sulfate in it. A lot of different things that cause bubbles, they have sulfates in it. Now, the issue comes in when we're using it too much in the wrong times, in the wrong capacities, on the wrong types of hair. As a licensed cosmetologist, there are things that I have to look for, and it's all about balance. Balance. You have to balance things out, okay? Beautiful thing about the natural community is that we actually created things that would be beneficial to our texture. Understanding how that works. A lot of people didn't quite understand why co-washing was created or why it was working, but you know, the mother of invention is necessity. So co-washing was invented, but we're going to talk about that a little more. Let's go back to the shampoo. On these texture categories, like say for instance, you guys are cooking, right? You guys are cooking and you make some meal like meatloaf or something like that, and you got to go clean your pots out. You will go in, definitely. You won't go clean your pots out with oil, I would hope. You know, you would use a dishwashing liquid or something like that to kind of break that grease down. Not kind of, you got to break the grease down in order to clean the pot out and make it squeaky clean again. All right. So with that in mind, the texture that actually gets oily, category 1, you'll hear a person that's in a category 1 saying, oh, I can't go 2-3 days without washing my hair because if I do, my hair is going to be greasy, right? It's going to be nasty and oily. Well, the necessity is there to degrease. So shampoo was invented for that necessity. We went in, first of all, out of necessity, and this necessity is called survival, went in and started shampooing our hair and following and mimicking the regimen of straight hair people with straight hair, straightening our hair. We were relaxing our hair, doing all these different things to our hair and using shampoo to degrease after we've created this whole straight hair scenario. But naturally, our texture is a S or Z pattern, something like that. Slightly wavy. Most of us of African American descent or biracial, a lot of Caucasian women too, Jewish women have S patterns in their hair, have curls. So with that in mind, the curlier your hair is, the more you actually need to start with something more moisturizing. A co-wash, for example. Okay? Why? Because of that little thing we talked about, which is called sebum. That oil on a strand of S pattern hair or Z pattern hair, the oil's not going to come down and slide up. First of all, 2 reasons. The hair is standing up more, so the oil's not sliding up against gravity. That don't happen. And same thing here, the Z pattern is standing up and it just cannot spiral up that way. You know what I'm saying? So our hair defies gravity and therefore the oil stays more at your root, slides down your face and everywhere else, causes pimples and a whole bunch of other things. And I know we have some questions coming in and we are going to go back and answer those questions. However, I want to make sure we get all of the information in. So let's talk about how we go about doing that. Co-washing was created. All right, co-washing was created. So on the straight side, people would shampoo their hair and then it could become over dry. So they go in with conditioner to balance things out. And remember, in your regimen, everything's about balance. Now, I saw a question come in just now. Can you over moisturize? Absolutely. It's all about balance. All about balance. So Whisper Whip, I actually created. There are several co-washes on the market, but I'm going to talk to you guys about mine. This is Whisper Whip Hydration. By the Hair Whisperer Tendai. That's me. That was a commercial really quickly. Shameless plug. Yeah. And it smells amazing. I think it smells like a snow cone. I used to have to sell snow cones when I was a kid, and I love the cherry flavor, and this is what it smells like to me. But a lot of people, I've been compared to honey almond, the Jergens, old school Jergens, and I guess it just depends. It has a really, really clean smell. It really does. It smells great, and it's super light, super lightweight. It's water-based, which means that the product is not going to sit in your hair and just make your hair tacky, sticky, or gummy, or anything like that. And I'm actually going to put a little bit in my hand. I want you guys to try it. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it at www.healthyhair.solutions. This is how the product, you see how runny it is? It just slides right down. And also, I'm going to show you guys that it has no what do you call it? There's nothing that's going to make it like sticky or tacky. It dries very dry. I can literally rub this on my hands like a lotion. And the reason this is beneficial, I thought about this, guys. A lot of people say, oh, I'm putting this as a hair product. But you know, your scalp is skin also. So the way that you have to take care of your hands in the wintertime and keep your hands from drying out, same thing with your hair. Your scalp produces strands of hair. And if the scalp is not in a state where it can actually stay hydrated and do what it's supposed to do, it'll dry out, it'll itch, it'll feel terrible. So, you know, that's why the Whisper Whip is important. But the way that you use it is literally just by putting it on your hair and running it through. It defines your curls and helps your hair to stay really, really super hydrated. I'm excited. I got word today that I'm going to be able to do live demonstrations coming up on some of my shows. This is the second one. So this very first one, I'm going to be able to explain things to you, but I'll also be able to show you exactly how to use the products, how to style your hair, when you can cut your hair in different ways, how you can cut your hair and without straightening it, and get your curls shaped in the whole nine. Whisper Whip, let me tell you about this, can be used in 3 ways. You can use it as a co-wash, as a deep conditioner, and as a leave-in styling cream. It's an amazing product. Again, guys, get this on Amazon.com, or you can go to my website, www.healthyhair.solutions, www.healthyhair.solutions, and we ship out to you guys, okay? I see some questions rolling in, but before we go any further with the questions, I do want to discuss some things with using the Whisper Whip. I always say my hands are the best tools I could ever use. You guys can definitely type that out. My hands are the best tools I can ever use. The reason why is because with your hair being curly, it definitely helps you to avoid breakage. So today's topic, hold on. I'm getting my computer up so I can see you guys' questions too. Today's topic is a twofold, actually. We talked about hydration and the difference, how to go about, recognizing where hydration is. Actually, we're not even done with that subject. So let me backtrack just a little bit. I got ahead of myself. Hydration versus moisture. So understanding now the difference on the spectrum, category 1, category 2, when you need moisture and all that stuff. Let's understand what hydration is and what moisture is. Who can tell me, just type it out, what hydration is and what the difference between moisture is? I'm going to wait. Okay, I'm done waiting. She says, I want the glasses. Juanita, I got these from Sharice. Sharice's Pieces. And she's on here usually. So somebody said water is hydration. Okay. What else? Y'all saw me drinking this water. Somebody said, how do I get my curls so defined? So gone over you. I'll tell you guys in a second. She says, my scalp says you're speaking foreign. Wait a minute, I gotta go back to, what did you say? My scalp says you're speaking foreign. Hashtag dry scalp. Oh, we're gonna talk about that too. Why is your scalp dry? Now, Tina, Chrissy, Eddie, have you ever had a relaxer? That's a question I want you to answer. And we're gonna talk about that. So the difference between hydration and moisture. All right, hydration and moisture. So let's visualize a plant. I love doing analogies, and so this is one. Moisturizer sinks in. Hydration is infusing hair, and moisture is retaining. Okay, so let's talk about this. All right. A plant. You're growing this plant, right? And every day you take a spray bottle and you just spray water on the leaves of the plant. Okay. Yes, since I was 3 years old. Been natural for 4 years. Okay, hold that thought, Chrissy, because I'm gonna come back to you. I think you just answered your own question, but we'll go back. All right. So you spray this plant every single day. Is your plant going to live? That's the question. If you just take a water bottle and spray your plant, the leaves, with this spray bottle every single day, is your plant going to survive? I'm waiting. Okay, no. Thank you, Janetta. Somebody said yes. No. 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 We've got, somebody said yes. Okay, no, the soil is dry. Come on, Lakeisha. Thank you, Lakeisha Ikuja. See, we got a lot of no's and we got a couple of yeses. The answer to that is no. Your plant absolutely is not going to survive alone by just spraying water on the leaves, because you have to pour the water down into the roots. Okay, so moisture actually sits on top. You can spray moisture on a plant, and the sun and different components, the wind, everything is going to evaporate the water. That's the same thing that's going to happen on your hair. You're going to spray it with water and it's going to evaporate. Now, pouring water down into the soil, down into roots, your hair will actually absorb, okay, I'm sorry, the leaves the roots will actually absorb what it needs and actually feed the plant internally. Same thing with your body. If you don't drink water, you're going to dehydrate. You're going to need an IV, and they're going to have to put water and fluids into you so that your skin doesn't wrinkle up and your hair doesn't dry out and all those different things. So that's internally and also inside of your body. So hydration is two component, hair growth and all of that is two component, external and internal. External and internal. So internally, drinking the proper amounts of water, making sure we're getting fluids inside, that's going to really, really help to make things work and be in balance. Now, externally, putting the right products on our hair is going to help your hair to stay hydrated. For example, let's talk about a hair strand. A hair strand, here I go drawing again. A hair strand actually has an outer layer, okay? And it has an inner layer. And just to keep it simple, here we go. So Tanya says, everything I put on my hair stays on top. It does not saturate. So let's talk about this, because there are times, and this is where actually having professional help comes in handy. Guys, I am so for people going natural, and I understand why a lot of people stop going to stylists, because they were just stylists. They were not actually helping them with their hair regimen. The beautiful thing about the whole natural hair movement is that it's forcing the hand of the professionals to have to know their stuff. You cannot just go in and know how to fry that hair and make it swoop swoop. So what? You know how to slay a weave, but I mean, can you make my hair grow? And can you help my hair to stay healthy? You know what I'm saying? So these are the things we're talking about. So let's just imagine, if you've ever looked at a strand of hair under a microscope, it kind of looks like this, right? Down. So this would be the strand. And then inside of that strand, there's going to be a center core. So you got the cuticle layer on the outside and the cortex layer right down the center. Okay. When you put products on your hair, services on your hair, keratin treatments, all these different things that you guys go on the internet, read about, and say, oh my God, I'm going to try this now because they say I got low porosity hair, I got high porosity hair. I'm going to try this mayonnaise, pickle juice mixture, and I'm going to put it on my hair, and I'm going to make my hair balance out and do these different things. Oh my God. When you do that, you actually can cause the outside of your hair to shut down. See, this is like a shutter. The outside of that strand of hair, these little flaps you see, they swell up with moisture. Natural hair, okay, when it's healthy, it swells up when you wet it, and it actually goes like this, and the hair kind of curls and does all kind of things. And then we go in and we flat iron this and make this all lay down again and all these different things, I mean, it's all kinds of things we do. And you can literally make the shaft shut down. When this is open, these flaps, when it's open, water can get inside, moisture can get inside, and it's either going to stay there by us sealing it with the right products, or it's going to evaporate out, depending on what you're using on your hair. So we talked about shampoo. Shampoo is designed to strip oils. If you go in with shampoo and you put it on this and you're mustering your hair up and do all these things, the shaft is open, but you're literally sucking all the moisture out of your hair, okay? One thing I tell people, go in, when you get your Whisper Whip, okay? I'm just assuming that you guys are going to buy the Whisper Whip. When you get your Whisper Whip, you put it right on your strands of hair. It's already wet. It's a wet product. So the water is going to actually open up the hair shaft, like we talked about, right? It's going to open up the hair shaft, and then it's going to put the creamy component, which is the moisture, right down inside of there. So you take a nice amount in the hair, you smooth it down and rub it through, and it's going to hydrate the hair the way it needs to be, okay? And you can either leave it in or you can rinse it out, okay? Couple different ways. The reason why this is so important to know is because we're either allowing moisture to stay in our hair or we're allowing it to escape based on what we do. For example, guys, if you use a keratin treatment on your hair and you've actually put it in, keratin is literally like the keratin treatment. It's not real keratin like you have in your produced by your body, but keratin treatments, it's almost like taking some clear fingernail polish and polishing over each strand of hair. Because that's what keeps the moisture from getting in your strands and making your curls curl back up, okay? So do understand that. And it sloughs off over time, which is supposed to be healthy, but with the heat, it depends on who you're working with, But that's a whole nother subject. Let's get back to what we were talking about. So actually moisturizing that hair the right way internally is going to help your hair to stay moisturized and to hold on to the moisture. One thing that is really super important that I've learned, even just from the natural hair community and trial and error, is that the lock method or the LCO method is a real deal. It does work, and it just depends on what your starting point is. I want to go back to the lady that mentioned that she had been getting relaxers. I'm sorry, there's like a billion questions that have come up, and I want to literally address that with you, because a lot of people think that they have dry scalp, and in actuality it's not a dry scalp. So let's talk about relaxers and the effect that relaxers have had on people's hair. I'm gonna switch glasses now so I can read. Y'all can laugh if you want to, I know, but I gotta see. Oh, there y'all go. Okay, so everything I put on my hair stays on top. It does not saturate, right? Because you probably have something coating it, and you may need to go in. It's very important to not wet your hair first. This is a key point. Whisper tip, guys. When you're going in to co-wash, especially with Whisper Whip, don't wet your hair first. Your hair is going to suck up like a straw, especially if it's dry. It's going to suck up the first thing you put on there. So if you put water on, your strands are going to fill up with water. All these little sheaths these little openings are going to fill up with water first. Then you go in trying to put product on and mix intermingle it. And you already, done the damage. Is not absorbing as much as it could, unless but if you go in and put it right on your dry hair first, let your hair just absorb all that moisture right out of the product, and then rinse it. I guarantee you'll see a huge difference, unless you have some kind of product that's locking your shaft down. If it's doing that, then it's going to take some time. You're going to have to work that moisture for a little bit. You may have to put a mask on right behind the hydrating mask that I have from Argan Deluxe, right on top of that, to help your hair to stay moisturized, okay? But let's go to what we were talking about really quickly. My party cup, my red cup. So people were getting relaxers and following that whole regimen of straight hair people, okay? If you guys had Jerry curls, make some noise. If you had a Jerry curl, say yes, me. Yes, I did. If you ever had a Jerry curl in your life. People that had Jerry curls, their hair grew like crazy because of the moisture. The thing is that your hair was in a curl. It stayed moisturized. We were activating it. We had Jerry curl juice flying, and it was just juicy, and it was growing. It grew. We had hair. But then we decided that we wanted to have inches and swing our hair straight and do all this and all that. We did that. And we went in with the sodium hydroxide, i.e. Relaxer, i.e. Liquid Drano. Because that's the same thing it is. It's Liquid Drano. I'm actually going to pull this up. We're going to talk about this. Yeah, it caused major problems. See, the thing is that there's a pH scale, right? I'm going to pull this thing up. And I'm going to answer some more of your questions too. There's a pH scale. And the pH scale, if you guys have ever heard of, okay, if you ever heard of it, it actually, everything we do, everything we have has, is on there. Like our skin is on the pH scale. Our skin naturally is at about a level 5 or 6, right, on the pH scale. And then sodium hydroxide, which is the same as Liquid Drano, is at a level 14. Which means that, yeah, it's super high, okay? We got acidic on the left side, so you got 1 through 14. Acidic on one side, and then the Liquid Drano bleach, all of that is up to like 13, 14. Water is about a level 6. pH balance is a 7. Rainwater is about a level 6, and regular tap water is about a level 7, which is neutral, okay? When we go in with relaxer, and we straighten our hair, that is literally changing not only your hair bonds, but it's also changing your scalp, Okay, your scalp is changing right along with that. Whenever your Jerry go way back. That's funny, Jerry curl. Whenever your pH levels are off, ladies, in your body, you get a yeast infection, right? A yeast infection happens, and you have to go in and balance those things out. Well, that's the same thing. On the alkaline side, that sodium hydroxide is really, really a problem for our hair, and it causes the hair follicles to be off. A fungus literally produces in your scalp after years and years of getting these relaxers put on and pushing your pH levels way off. And on top of that, some of us were not rinsing it out correctly. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, that sodium hydroxide is up at a level 14. Our skin naturally is at a level 5 or 6. And then neutral is 7. So we go in, push the relaxer. The relaxer will push our skin pH levels all the way up to 14. We'll use neutralizing shampoo, washing our hair, trying to bring it back down to a 7, but that 7 is still not where your skin originally was. Although you got the results you wanted, your hair was straight now, but at the same time, your scalp has still been off, which is the reason why your scalp was burning and oozing with pus and having all these scabs and all these different issues, okay? That's the reason why. And so that causes a major problem. Then on top of that, we turn around and we do things like we put a sew-in in or glue on, or we'll cover it up with these tight braids or whatever we were doing, and it causes it's a perfect environment. We sweat, and then you have a damp, dark place on your scalp. It's a perfect scenario for funguses to grow. I have seen this so many times in the salon. Women would come in, they would take their wigs off, and we will start on this natural hair journey, and they are bald literally all the way through, or literally thinning right through the top. Okay. How many of you all actually were rinsing and doing your own relaxers at home? A lot of you guys were. Or if you go into the salon, if you notice that the pressure hose in the salon is really, really hard. And it's the reason, it's not just to massage you all scalp and make y'all feel good about yourself. I mean, it's nice to feel that holes on there. But the reason why that water is so hard is because we literally have to power wash product out of your scalp. It's so important to get down there and really rinse it out. Sometimes it hurts so bad you don't want them. You just want to put cold water on it and rinse it a little bit. I mean, it hurts. It literally hurts, right? And then on top of that, you take this neutralizing shampoo, got to try to bring it in there. That's why it will calm down so quickly, because it's literally taking the pH levels back down to a 7 where it's supposed to be. Well, actually, that's not even where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be at level 5. But it's taking it to the 7 to stop the action of the product. All right? But think about this, guys. Some people didn't even wash it out the right way. They were home rinsing their hair in a sink with water trickling on their head lightly. Ooh, that hurts. I don't want to rinse it. Don't turn the water too high. That hurts. Remember that hair follicle we met earlier? So let's talk about this. Look at this again. Our Z patterns right here. Actually, let me open it back up. Your Z patterns. So now you got this in your hair. This hair follicle has been now packed with relaxer, sodium hydroxide. So it's literally down inside the follicle too. You didn't power wash it out, so the water literally didn't get down inside of here to rinse anything off, which is causing a problem right in this area. Okay, so the hair follicle's there, you packed stuff down in there, you barely rinsed it, and then you barely washed it out. Some of y'all didn't even use neutralizer shampoo. Some of y'all used dishwashing liquid. I don't know what you're using, but there was problems going on. You understand? Lord have mercy. Yes, Sheila Jackson, come through. You understand what I'm saying? It's a problem. And a lot of times we look at things and we say, oh, baldness is just hereditary in my family. I hate that with a passion. I cannot stand when people say that to me. Telling me, yeah, baldness is just hereditary in my family. You know what I say? Who was doing you all's hair? Oh, my cousin did my hair. My cousin did all our hair. Are all y'all bald-headed? Yes. Well, it ain't hereditary. It's your cousin. In the water that y'all got. You understand what I'm saying? It's a problem, and it just burns me up sometimes. Anyway, but I'm gonna come back. But what I was saying here, but you guys understand what I'm saying? That causes a problem. you know, this not being cleaned out properly, not being rinsed properly. Then you turn around and put, you know, you braid your hair up and you have it all packed down in here. You know what I'm saying? Braids on top of this, it's a damp, compact place. Y'all know that, you know, funguses and yeast infections grow in damp, dark places. Down, you know what I'm saying? You got a damp, dark place you created on your scalp too, with this pH level pushed off, and so now you got a yeast infection in your scalp. So yeah, it's not hereditary, it's a yeast infection, boo. That's what it is, and that's the reason why people are using Monistat 7 to grow their hair back. And Monistat 7 is an antifungal cream, antifungal. Miconazole citrate. They actually put that into your shampoo. So some people were saying, but I'm not putting no coochie cream on my hair. They would say that, you know, they would say, I'm not putting coochie cream on my hair. But listen, hey, you've been doing the things that create yeast infections. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You've been doing things that cause yeast infections on your scalp, i.e. pH levels being off in your scalp. You know, just to make it, put it out there. But you have to think of it in this way. You know, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and yes, at some point, when I read on YouTube that people were using Monistat 7 for, to cure, not even to cure, they were just saying to grow their hair. And I was like, why? But after I started thinking about it and understanding the concepts, I mean, put it together, guys. Think about it. When you're the whole concept, when you're using your products, right? Think about the whole process. All right. First thing they tell you, put on gloves. When you're doing a relaxer, put on gloves. This should tell you right there. The fact you got to put gloves on, put this stuff in your hair, should tell you that it's not good for you. Okay. So anybody sitting here thinking about, so I'm going to put a relaxer on my hair tomorrow. I'm about to break this spell right now. Okay. You got to put gloves on. That's the first thing you got to do. Then they tell you to base your scalp. Some of y'all went just around the edges. Okay. Then they say part it in 4 sections. They tell you to start in the back of your hair, right back here. Okay. Not up here, but start back here. You know why they tell you don't start up here? Because heat rises and it reacts faster up top. So you don't want to start here and then get back here. And by the time you get finished, this is all burned and you got a whole nappy patch still back around the back. Okay. All right. Marinate that for a minute. Let's keep going. Okay. You go in, you haven't followed the instructions. You don't have a person who's professionally trained, or if they are professionally trained, some of them are not really focused. You know, they just get money or whatever. We'll talk about that later. And then they put the relaxer in, got it sitting on your head, and for a few minutes you're okay. Then after a while, it starts burning. Think about it. If you put acid or anything, liquid Drano, they tell you don't put liquid Drano on your hands, but you put this stuff in a creamy form on your scalp. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same old stuff. All right, so it starts kind of itching. It itches first, okay? It itches first. Then it starts burning. Oh my God, I'm tapping my foot because that's what you start doing. You start, gotta get straight. Oh my God, gotta get straight. Okay, I gotta get it straight. Okay. Then you go to the water thing. You lay back. If you're at the salon, they turn the water on. They put it on. You don't want to feel that, right? Did y'all like that initial water on your head? You got to get used to the stinging because it feels like it's about a zillion people just sitting there stabbing you like this. Just all three. I mean, it burns, right? And so then 43 years of hair sheer torch. Exactly. It hurts. All in the name of beauty, which you're following in somebody else's form of beauty, but we ain't going to go there. All right? So then after you get it rinsed out, you put the neutralizing shampoo on your head and put it in this spot right here. Okay. Not to mention that you sprayed oil sheen in it while it was processing, and you've also used gel to try to put in there, and anything you can find, just pack it in there and try to make it stop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a serious situation. All right, rinse it out. And guys, y'all ain't no different. Y'all got the texturizers. Y'all tell me, well, I got a texturizer. It's still relaxer. You just put it on there less time. It's the same thing. Okay. Sodium hydroxide is breaking that curl pattern down. Once you rinse it out, you get it neutralized. Some of y'all didn't use the right shampoos, and your hair is just literally frying and burning out, and the scalp is, you know. Now, let's go on past that. Once you get all, it's burning worse. Yes, it's burning worse. You know what I'm saying? Once you get that all out of your head, okay, then you got to go, you're feeling a little better. You got to try to balance all this stuff out. I almost cussed just then. Got to bounce all this stuff out, but I ain't gonna cuss. It just gets me upset, guys. It really does, because we did all this stuff to ourselves in the name of beauty, broody, and you got to go in with conditioner and try to fix it. When the reality is, you know, I got to point. I just say I don't want the money. All money ain't good money. I don't want it. I don't want to relax nobody else's hair. And if you want to come to me, you're going to get your hair done naturally. If I straighten it, it's going to be done naturally. And I really, really am on a mission to help as many hairstylists as I can to only do natural hair. Do natural hair. I don't care if you sew it in, but understand how to keep the scalp healthy, you know? Yeah. So let's go back to what you talked about with the relaxers, right? So that fungus is created. Did you guys know that once that fungus starts growing on your scalp, it itches, okay? It causes dry patches. Did you know that that doesn't go away? It doesn't go away on its own. You could have had relaxers 15 years ago. And if you've never balanced those things out and actually killed that fungus, all you do is washing away the results, which is the scabs and things like that, or the flakes that have grown, that part that's really woven all together. All you do is wash that away or scrape it away, wash it off, and it starts to grow again. That's what fungus does. It's not dandruff. It's not just dry scalp. You're dealing with the effects of all those years of getting relaxer. Now, how do you fix it? Go get yourself some either miconazole citrate, i.e. Monostat 7, mix it with some argan oil, and oil your scalp with it and see if that changes. Now, if you have asthma, that's a whole different issue, okay? A lot of people will say seborrheic dermatitis. So seborrheic dermatitis is inflammation of your scalp. It causes that dryness and flaking. It doesn't stop. It itches all around the hairline to come down your forehead and the whole nine. And it's really, really bad. So a lot of people that are dealing with that whole issue of dry scalp, it's really just a byproduct of all those years of relaxers. I know you like, I be doggone, for real? Yes, it really, really, really is. That simple, you know. You go to a dermatologist. The dermatologist tells you your hair is not growing in, okay? Now, the thing is that the hair follicle now is being covered up with this fungus, clogged up with this fungus. So, get my ink pen back out. So now, we got this here. I'm going to draw another hair follicle right here. This bulb underneath, right? You got your oil, you got your sapoprotein, and now it's minus the hair. There's no hair growing out of his hair follicle now because it's literally clogged up with fungus now. And that's the problem. The fungus keeps growing. The hair is actually stunted now. It won't grow out because you got this fungus here. I have a lady that I met at one of my Texture Talk classes here in St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, by the way. And she stood up and I could literally see her scalp from where she was standing. There was probably about 200 people in the room. And I told her I wanted to work with her. And it's been about 4 years. Her hair is all grown back, completely grown back. It took some time. It's not just the whole concept with the fungus growing on your scalp and everything. That's only part of the equation. The other part, some people are dealing with issues with their thyroid, and I get that. Their hormones are off. There's a whole lot of things that are playing a role in keeping their hair from growing out too. But start there. Get yourself, if you're not really sure about the Monostat 7, I'm telling y'all that it works. I've had people to use it. Actually, one of my really good clients, one of my good friends who is a client of mine, she's also a doctor. She is the one who told me that it works. She used it with my argan oil, one of my argan oil products, and mixed it and put it on her scalp, and her hair is all grown back in. And she was literally bald through the top from the same types of processes, the relaxers. Guys, you have to stop. It's not a matter of whether it's a choice. It's my choice. If I want to wear my relaxers, I can be proud and permed. It's not about that, guys. It's about long term. Some of the things that women are going through and thinking that it's a normal aging process or feeling like this is a part of my heritage. My family, we go bald. Really? Okay, so you might need to look at your actions, you know, in your household and try to see what's going on. I mean, literally, do you go to a family reunion and every single person's bald headed? Like, seriously, everybody? on both sides of your family. That's kind of like, you know, some people have alopecia. Shout out to all my proud alopecia sisters, you know. But you got to look at it for what it really is. Sometimes that's not the case. I mean, no. And somebody asked me, can you actually have healthy, relaxed hair? Hell no. Okay, that is the... Can you drink liquid Drano? Let's put it out there. Can you touch liquid Drano? Can you do any? No, you're not. It's the same thing. It's just creamy. There's no such thing as a healthy relaxer. I don't give a doggone what nobody says to y'all. There's no such thing as a healthy doggone relaxer. Okay, no such thing. No, nada, negative. Nen. I don't even know how to say it in another language. I wish I could say nano. Hell no. All right. That was a question somebody asked me. We're going to go back to some of the things. You guys, let's get some of your questions going. I do want to say this. People were asking me about my hair throughout. So how do I get my hair so defined? My hair is naturally a 3A, okay? A 3A. And what I did was I took small sections of my hair and I 2-strand twisted it, okay? I 2-strand twisted it up all over. And it's literally growing up. It's been out for about a month. Y'all silly. Y'all don't get my nerves worked up. My nerves are bad. I'm very passionate about this hair thing, and I want to see every person go natural. Your natural is your natural. It's yours. We just have to learn what to do with it. You know, you have to learn what to do with it. And texture is beautiful. Texture is absolutely beautiful. There's so many things you can do with your texture if you just let it grow out and embrace it. Keep it hydrated, understanding what's in your zone, what's within your grasp. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the products. I want to give away a bottle of Whisper Whip, and you want to talk about shrinkage. We can do that. I'm going to give away a bottle of Whisper Whip. This is Deluxe Argan Oil. This is Curl Cream. This is going to be a lock system. Your Curl Cream, your Whisper Whip, which is your liquid, your oil, and your cream. I'm going to give this away. So, and you're going to get a bonus shine spray. I want you guys to go and actually subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Hair Whisperer Tendai. Once you do that, I'm going to go on there and pick somebody, and I'll email you. Make sure you put your email address in there. I'll email you, and you'll know that you won. You'll know who won the bundle. And I'm going to give away some. We're going to have actually be collecting email addresses and all kinds of stuff to give away all kinds of things. T-shirts, products. Natural Hair Mag has been phenomenal. We got a few more minutes. Shrinkage. Guys, so shrinkage, yes, is real. There's nothing wrong with shrinkage. Shrinkage is actually works in your favor. It works in your favor. Let's talk about it. Understand that your hair, when it's in a shrunken state, that's where the money is. That's where your hair grows the most. Whenever you straighten your hair out, you've got it right at the point of breakage. Okay, so the straighter it is, the closer it is to being broken. See, because right here, people think that this means elasticity right here. That's not elasticity. Elasticity is beyond this point. If you take a strand of hair, it's going to stretch a little bit further. Once you got to straighten all the curls out, right? It'll stretch a little bit further before it actually breaks. This stretching point, right where all the curls are gone and stretched out, that's elasticity. Once you've gotten your hair closer to the elasticity point, it's going to break off more. Next Wednesday, we're going to talk about shrinkage, breakage, trimming your hair, why you should trim your hair. It's so important to know all of these things. You guys, we talked about texture last week. I saw somebody put some 4C here, lots of shrinkage here. There's nothing wrong with it. Moisturize it. I have people that have been amazing, done amazing things with their 4C hair. And when I say 4, I mean Z pattern with tight kinky coils. So some of y'all think you got 4C hair, but you really, really don't, you know. But go back and watch my video. There's a video that's posted on the Natural Hair Mag page from last Wednesday, and we talked about all these different things. Yeah. And somebody said that, and how often you should trim. Are you on every Wednesday night? I am. Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central, the whole nine. 4C cotton top. Love 4C. I love 4C hair. I'm not a 4C. I'm a 3A, honestly, because my strands are really fine and I have an S pattern. But you know, and I'm glad you guys are loving the information. Please share the video. Don't forget to go, and I'm hot right now. But I have a coupon code. If you go to my Healthy Hair Solutions, www.healthyhair.solutions website, yeah, this is what you do. I'm going to address that Tia Shepherd Tire. She said her natural hair stopped growing. What does she need to do? Couple things. You need to feed your bloodstream. Are you taking biotin? Are you making sure that you're eating from within? Your hair's probably still growing, especially if you don't have a bald spot that's down to the skin. You know, if you don't have like alopecia in some sorts, your hair is probably still growing. On top of that, you know, externally, if you're using a comb, a pick, or anything like that, you're probably snapping your hair off just as fast as it's growing out. So you won't see any growth. You want to use your fingers. You want to use the Whisper Whip. I guarantee you next week, I'm going to try my best to do a live tutorial on a 4C person, a true 4 person, so you guys can see that there's hope for you too. Because I know a lot of my 4 clients, they're like, yeah, she got that good hair. I understand, but you ain't got this, baby. You ain't got I got that Ruta Tuta Kunta, baby. And I know I see people saying stuff all the time. My hair looks good in the morning. By lunchtime, it's shrunken and looks dry. Hey, if your hair shrinks, get the right shape on it. That's all you got to do. Make sure your curls are defined. Make sure you got the right shape that works for you. You wouldn't care about the shrinkage if the shape is right. I promise you. Visit www.healthyhair.solutions. That's where you're going to get the Whisper Whip. That's where you're going to get the Argan Deluxe products, my Argan Midas. I do have a coupon code that you guys can put on in there because you joined me here on my second Texture Talk. It is My Natural. Save 30%. Healthyhair.solutions. Somebody said, how often should you trim? Oh, don't forget Amazon Prime also. How often should you trim your hair? Okay. If you're using a comb on your hair, I'm going to say this. Okay. If you're using a comb on your hair, you're going to have to trim a lot more often than I do. The reason why is because you're combing this spiral. This spiral actually gets, that was a faux pas. The spiral actually gets caught in a circle and it snaps. And when it snaps, it actually frays just like this, right? The sign was backward. Oh, it said My Natural. That's all it said. My Natural. Okay, so that's how that works. And it snaps, and then when it frays, they curl back up, and then you have more split ends going on than not. What about a pick in the shower? I usually, wait a minute. So we're going to talk about texture. We're going to talk about trimming and what causes your split ends and why and when you need to trim and all that good stuff. We're going to talk about that next week, okay? Because it's super, super important to know these things. What's our time looking like here? Okay, so I think that's our time. That's why my iPad just went to sleep on me just then. You guys are fantastic. Hey, make some noise for yourself. Give me some thumbs, some hands, and claps, and hands up, and happy faces if you enjoy Texture Talk tonight. There's so much we can talk about. I want to share so much information with you guys from a natural hair professional. I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. at the Ubiquitous Expo. And hey, if you guys haven't been, last year was amazing. They had Shantae Moore performing, Yolanda Adams performing. I think they had like 23 performers this year. 23. And I know one of them was Raheem Devon. So make sure you guys share this. If you're in the DC area, please come and see me. I'll have my booth there. I'll be selling my products. The Whisper Whip will be there. The Argan products. Everything is going to be there, and I'll be doing demonstrations there live. As a matter of fact, I pick my people out of the audience. So if you're in the DC area and you have that hair that you say, can't you, don't you? Bring it on, and I want to show you it will. It will. We're going to slay that hair, okay? That is my time this evening. I do appreciate all of you tuning in to Texture Talk once again. Join me here next week. Same place, Natural Hair Mag, for Texture Talk with the Hair Whisperer Tendai. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for your chance to win the Healthy Hair Solutions products. Tell a friend, please. Tune in next week, and we will be right here. Thank you guys so much, and we're going to grow this thing, and it's going to get bigger and better. I look forward to seeing you guys in a city near you. Take care.